Alright guys, got a little bit of a small comic book haul and a little update here with what's going on right here, alright? So basically, the computer blew up a few weeks ago. I shot a video or two on a tablet that completely, the tablet sucks. I'm not a fan of the tablets, the notebooks, whatever you want to call them. I call the thing garbage, and all this stuff. But, it got me through for a little bit. So the new camera has come in. The new computer has come in with a spiffy new camera. A great YouTuber sent me a high def camera to help me out because the chats that I was doing on the tablet were awful, and we talked tech, and he was awesome enough to help me out. So I'll be using that in the future because this computer also comes with some spiffy new software that you can edit videos. So I want to play around with that, and who knows if I learn a little lighting again and stuff like this. The reason the light is shooting in on me is because I'm not sure what's going on, but it just keeps dropping the curtain over here. You know. But anyway, work's been crazy, but I did get one day off, went out with my friends to Hillsville, Virginia, and did find some comics. And in the last couple months, I've been saying in my other videos, man, around here, the back issues are drying up at the flea markets and the yard sales and stuff like that. I don't know if people are getting out of it or if they're getting sold, or I don't know what's going on, because it wasn't a gradual thing. It just happened. And Hillsville flea market, Hillsville, Virginia is a town where they turn the whole town into a flea market twice a year, Labor Day, Memorial Day. And there's usually tons of comics, tons of vendors. Go back on my videos, you'll see big, huge hauls and things like that. And there was like maybe 3 people that had comics, and it wasn't a lot of comics. One guy had 2 short boxes that were overpriced. One person had ended up having, I think they said 5 or 6 boxes. And like I said, I went on a Sunday. And Saturday, the day this thing runs, the whole weekend to the holiday. Saturday, as I was driving back from work and stuff, I was shaking my head and told my friends that I went to, caught them on the phone. I'm like, man, there's vultures down there around comics. I know there's something there. And I was right, because the people that had those 5 or 6 boxes, when we got there, they had 2.5 left, if that much. All dollar. I mean, they said they were selling them for $1 because they had sold 3 boxes the day before. And it kills me because of the condition of the comics. They were all 80s comics, and they were all in this kind of condition, brand new condition. This is a comic from 1984. Glossy, flat, but not like it's been pressed. Colors are rich, not a ding on them, and I'm pretty sure all the books were like this condition. I was more amazed at the condition than the books I was finding. They'd already been picked through. But I was able to find a few things, but I couldn't let this go, right? Now, this is Superpowers. It was, for the toy line. It's got some Kirby in there and things like that. But, this kind of made me realize that, a lot of people talk about nostalgia while with the collecting sometimes. It's been back and forth, and I'm sure nostalgia has played a part in my collecting sometimes and stuff, but not a lot, until I saw this, and I started kind of realizing something, right? When it comes to nostalgia with people, and that is something very powerful for a lot of people as you get older and things, as you get older. And sometimes it's a song out of the blue that makes you feel nostalgic. Sometimes it's a smell, something with the senses. And with me, it's the colors. The colors of the early 80s, up to about the mid 80s, they were pastel colors and rich colors and deep colors. There's nothing like seeing your Thundercats and your blue Skeletor and that green on Merman and things like that. Those colors are what gives me that nostalgic feel of the 80s. So yeah, that had a little bit of nostalgia like that. I think it's interesting that I'm kind of visual like that. Okay. So I got a few other things out of those boxes. This is my second copy of this. It's in just as great shape as that first one. What if Electra had lived? I love my what ifs. I think it's this shelf. Like from here down, I think are what ifs books from the 90s and 80s and one shots in the 2000s and stuff. But this is by Terry Austin, written by Terry Austin, and drawn and written by Frank Miller, inked by Terry Austin. And this was, by Frank Miller, who created and killed Elektra with his Daredevil run. Real quick, Some other things here. What if the Invisible Girl had died? Then I love this one for the cover. Bill Sinkovich. What if Hulk went berserk? And here's your Spider-Man fix. What if Ben had lived? All right, then I found my buddy Tim found another place. They just had like a little can. I don't know what you would call it. It's like a bin. It was a plastic bin that he could just fold the top down. It wasn't even a comic book box, but he found them. I grabbed a few things out of this. This is I think I'm 2 issues away now from completing this whole run. I think which ran 22 issues in the early 2000s. But it was Hero. You can see the dial in there. But this was a very mature, should have been, in my opinion, a Vertigo imprint book on the dial H for Hero. The whole concept is when you get the dial and you do the hero, dial hero in it, you become a hero, a different hero every time with different powers and stuff, right? But anyway, I'm pretty close to having, I think, all 22 issues. 2 of these are doubles, which leaves me 2 more to get, and I got the whole set. And issue number 11 of Hero, in a bunch of my videos, I consider one of my favorite comics ever for the story. It's about Super Caveman. It has an ending that'll freaking put a tear in your eye. Great story. I digress. Anyway, here's number 2. If you can get through the first 4 issues of Hero and move on from 5 up, you'll be good. Because you're either, with those first 4 issues, you'll either want to slit your wrist or the main character's wrist. That's all I'm saying. All right. Number, what is that, 3? Okay. And then these ended up being doubles, number 7 and number 8. A lot of good stuff on there. And then here's the big hustle, man. I tipped my hat off to Tim Anderson, my buddy that was with me. We found a booth after walking all over the place that she had comic books in a picnic basket. And as I went around the table, there was a girl and her mother, and the girl was going through the comics. She said she was finding comics for her husband. She didn't know what she was doing. And Tim stayed over there at the scrapbook I'd walked past. And as he was going through it, it wasn't a scrapbook of pictures. It was full of comics that were $2 a piece. And he looks up at me, and he's telling me, he's trying to keep his poker face on, not cause, get a lot of attention and stuff, that there's something in there. He decided not to buy these books at $2 a piece. So I got them. And they were already sold to another YouTuber, okay? But I paid $6 for these. These were $2 a pop. I didn't even try to wheel and deal the lady, right? These are beat-up copies of, low-grade beat-up copies of Amazing Spider-Man 298, first Todd McFarlane Spider-Man, $2.99. And as you can probably guess what's coming up here, beat-up copy, marked-up copy of Amazing Spider-Man number 300 with, pretty good interiors and stuff, right? And we all know about the Amazing Spider-Man. This is the first appearance of Venom. This book was hot. I bought it off the rack back in the day. I was right there and sold my copy back in 2008 for something like $85, $80 back in the day. And, of course, this is worth more money. So it was kind of cool. I don't regret selling mine, but it was kind of cool to be able to have the hunt settled in me for finding one of these in the wild at a cheap price, even if it is beat up and stuff, right? But, I got it, and I've already sold it. So I sold all 3 of them. I was going to put them on eBay, but, when I was showing them on a Google chat, somebody jumped at them. We were to will and deal and get a good thing there, right? So, anyway, future plans with the channel. I'm not going to make the whole big of promises or big fuss, but I got some software on here for the editing. I got some ideas for Kingdom Come and a few other things. So maybe I might be able to make a real video with a little bit of editing in it and stuff, because when my computer blew up, my intros and everything are gone. I want to work on trying to get those up. And, it might be kind of cool to play around and try to make a, real video. So we'll see how it goes. Other than that, it's just, keep on trucking, Later, guys.